So just describe how the taxation unit grew and how it moved, the changes you saw over the years. So you were in the City Hall when you first came, then what happened? Sort of lead the person who's interested in that history a little bit. So what happened?
We actually were one of the last departments to move out of the old City Hall before it was demolished and a new construction came in. We had, when I first started in 1966, all the departments except Edmonton Telephones were working out of City Hall. And Edmonton Telephones just happened to be across the street in a white building that's just west of the library. So it housed all the departments, including Edmonton Power, Law. Everyone was in that one building, plus a cafeteria we had on the 9th floor. And that's where the union meetings were held, in the cafeteria on the 9th floor. So it was easy to get to the meetings because you just had to stay for a little while and then just pop the elevator and go to the meetings. And the meetings started at 7 o'clock at that time, not 5:30 like they do right now. So you got to meet the janitors, waiting for that period of time. I'm not sure how come we got the janitors, but they were part of 52, I guess. And a lot of them were from the European background, and a lot of them spoke Ukrainian or Polish, so it was easy to communicate with them. And if you needed their vote, you just say, look, come and vote on this issue. As far as work, we had the old typewriters. The old adding machines where if you needed to multiply, you put in the digits, put the lever down, and half an hour later you got your result. Adding was okay, but multiplication, you had this big lever you pulled down. If you needed to multiply 10 times, you pull the handle down 10 times. Wow. A lot of work was, mapping was done by hand. Big ledgers about 3 feet by 3 feet were kept on tax notices, and then, like I said, it went onto these cards later on. Subdivision plans were humongous big plans you had to look at. Manual pencil sharpeners. On every little workstation you had a pencil sharpener screwed into the windowsills, I guess. And when the first electric pencil sharpener came, it was like a toy. Everybody was sharpening their pencils. One of the big victories was, and I guess that would be in the 1980s, early 1980s. Pardon me, not early 80s, I'm sorry, mid-1970s. 52 was successful in one of the negotiating contracts. We got a maternity leave for our women. Prior to that, there was no maternity leave in Canada, let alone Alberta. The women actually had to quit their jobs. If they were pregnant, they had to quit their jobs, not take leave because there was no leave, quit their jobs, and then if they wanted to come back, they actually had to be rehired, not necessarily into the position. So Union 52 was successful in getting a 6-month maternity leave, which now is across Canada, and it's up to 12 months now, but we were, I believe, the first ones in Alberta to get that in our collective agreement.
Was there any opposition to that?
Of course there was. Of course there was. There was opposition to that because it was something that was new, and it was felt that, why should we keep your job? You're not working for us. Why should we keep your job for you? Because the clause was that you were granted up to 6 months maternity leave, and you were guaranteed a position upon your return, not necessarily the position that you vacated, but you were guaranteed a position of the same level. That meant, like, if you were clerk 2, came back as a clerk too. And of course there was opposition because they said, oh gee, you know, we have to keep this position open, we'd like to fill it up with somebody. And some managers did try that. But at the end of the day, they still had to produce a job or create a job for the person coming back from maternity leave.